Well, hello. Happy Monday. As soon as y'all get this notification, I need for y'all to come on up in here because this is going to be a life-defining moment for many of you. I'm going to say some things in here that's going to change somebody's life, and it might motivate some people to get their lives together. Tag your friends, share it, whatever it is that you do to bring the people in, bring them on in. Because there seems to be a very, very serious war on the minds and the self-esteem of a lot of young women. I was blessed growing up to have women around me that taught me my true value. I was able to see on a daily basis what made a woman valuable. And I was also able to see every day of my young life what truly is a high value man. I happened to be the daughter, the granddaughter, the niece, the sister, and the cousin by blood of high value men. And the first thing I want to establish right now is the difference between somebody that's high value versus somebody that wants to be a little bit too high-minded. I'm going to have to read somebody today. There are a lot of men who are preoccupied with destroying the self-esteem of a woman, of young girls, so that these women will think so little of themselves that they will accept anything in a mate, in a male, but not necessarily end up with a man. So let me get this straight right now. You can't trick me with the bull sugar. I saw a man wear a man's shoes, wear a man's pants, and do a man's job from the time I could remember. I saw it all day, every day. So let's just get something straight. I am not for one moment telling anybody, male or female, to choose somebody that they're not compatible with, to choose anybody that they're not attracted to, or to choose anybody that you don't have a common goal. I, for one, know for a fact that we are to forever be working toward becoming our best selves, being as attractive as we can, as fit as we can, as healthy as we can be, mentally, emotionally, and financially. But young ladies, let me tell you something. In the words of my grandmother and every upstanding woman I ever heard speak to me when I was a young lady, we have all made some mistakes. We all have had to recover from something. We all have something in our past that has hindered us or that has caused us to fall short or even slow down a little bit. But in the words of my grandmother, baby, just because you fail, it doesn't mean that you got to wallow. So first of all, let's get something straight. To all of you men who try to make a woman feel bad because she has a child from a previous relationship, from a marriage that didn't work out, or if she was never married. Let's just get this straight right now. We don't know what your mama did. We don't know the circumstances of your birth. And let me tell you one thing. Mary had a baby. His name was Jesus. He died and saved the whole world. Mary, the mother of Jesus, was an unwed teenage mother. So don't tell me Don't tell me nothing else in your attempts to shame a woman because she had a baby. Mary had a baby and his name was Jesus. Many wonderful people have risen above their circumstances to go on to do great things in their lives. And let's just put this out here before I go another further. When I was a young single mother raising my son, after my divorce, I wanted to put my son in a good school and I wanted to live in a good neighborhood. And so I worked a part-time job outside of my regular work as a nurse, and I worked in a women's center or a women's clinic. I did not work in the procedure room, but I worked in the aftercare room of an abortion clinic. Yes, I did. In the recovery room, I was the recovery room nurse. So I need for y'all to hush talking about a woman because she done had a baby. Because let me tell you something, I might remember some of y'all's faces just like you remember mine. And if these women have children and you feel their value is lower because they had children, then the value of the father of those children is lower because his black ass ain't brand new either. And if he didn't die, a lot of single mothers are created simply because they didn't know how to pick a better man. So today, I am going to do my part in helping to decrease the number of single mothers and the times they become single mothers by basically letting you know when you are dealing with a high value man versus one that just wants to be high minded. So let me get this out the way because I got somewhere I got to be in a little while. And I'm going to be on time, but I want you to understand this right here. I have been in the company of men who are really, truly high value. Okay? And they each had their own profession, skill, and occupation. I have sat in the room with men from judges to janitors, but they were all men of high quality, high value, high integrity, good character, and high morals. First, let's get something out of the way. Just because you happen to look up, get drafted, get a recording contract, get that acting role, get into the right school, get in the right job, just because you can earn a high salary does not make you a high value man. Let's go and get that out of the way right now. Just because you have a high salary does not mean you are a high value man. Just because you may have a high net worth, it does not make you a high value man. One of the most powerful and influential men I ever saw was a school janitor. And trust me, the late Reverend Fletcher Davis helped to mold the minds and the careers and the lives of more children, or as many children as many of the teachers in the classroom. He was the janitor at the high school. And he took the time to listen to the children. You could talk to him about anything, and he would give you a straight up, straightforward answer. He went to work every day, took care of his household and his family, and upon his death, left provisions for his wife to be well cared for until her death. He didn't earn a high salary, but he was a man of high value. See, young ladies, don't let anybody make you believe that because you made a mistake that you are not worthy of picking yourself up and going on to live a good life. I'm a living witness that you can become whatever you want to be despite what's in your past. And that there is somebody out here in this world that will see your value. I just put it like my grandmama used to say, you hang your light high, baby, somebody will see it. Somebody gonna see it. Now, these gentlemen that I have been in the presence, some were single, some engaged, some married. But not one of them was going down a list of a woman's resume like they were hiring for a job. Although they will tell you that choosing their wife, the mother of their children, was the most important job that any woman could have at the time, because she was going to guide the lives of the children, the mood of the home, and even the course of how that man lived his life. Women are very powerful. And low down men who have the spirit of the serpent in the garden want you to lower your standards so that you can be easily deceived into doing what they want you to do. So that snake, that's a snake talking to you when he tells you that because of your dress size, and I'm not saying you be a big slovenly person that don't care about how they look, but just because you're not a size 6 dress, baby, don't let that snake talk to you and make you think nobody wants you. At every size in my life, honey, somebody found me attractive. I ain't ugly. It ain't nothing short about me but my hair. And I just got it cut the other week. Vontae just cut it. Do not let anybody deceive you that because you don't make 6 figures or 7 figures that nobody wants you. Do not let anybody make you ashamed because you dropped out of school because you can go back and get your GED. I'm not telling you to settle for anything, but I'm also telling you don't be satisfied if you ain't got your life like you want it. But let's get something out the way, because I'm fixing to first let you know that a high value man is not made because of his job, his salary, his position. High value men are made by God. They are made by their families. They are made by the efforts that they put into themselves to be a responsible, accountable person. See, you all allow a no-account Negro that has nothing going for himself to make you feel bad about what you do have going for yourself, so you will lower your standards and deal with him. If you happen to have a little weight on you, you got a good job, you got a nice car, you are working to be financially self-sufficient, you have long-term savings, and you are building a future for yourself and your children if you happen to have one, because his ass still sleeping on his mama's couch, catching the bus, and he 30 cents from a quarter. He wants you to think that because you don't look like the girls in the magazine or one of them video whores, that you are too picky when you choose not to put up with his foolishness. Because you won't let him drive your car, slime and slither around up in your house while you at work and borrow money, or you co-sign for him something so he can ruin your credit. You are delusional, and he wants you to think that you're not worthy of a high value man. First of all, let me get this straight right here. If he does not have a job, if he does not have a job in which he has a plan to advance himself on that job, in his career, in his craft, in his trade, or his business, he's not a high value man. If he got a job and he is satisfied with just being where he is and has no ambition, he's not a high value man. If he does not have a well-insured vehicle that is in good working order in his own name, that is well maintained and operable, he's not a high value man. If he does not have a life insurance policy, at least 3 times his salary, both whole and term, so that he can look after his parents if he has no children, he can pay his debts off and see about his children or his wife, children, and family after his death, he ain't what the bird left on the fence, and he's not a high value man. If he does not have and is not trying to have at least a $1,000 emergency account and a long-term savings account that takes care of 3 to 6 months of his living expenses, he's not a high value man. If he does not have credit in good standing in his own name, he's not a high value man. If he's unable to put a roof over his own head, he's not a high value man. If he does not have at least one major credit card in which he could use in case of an emergency to book a flight, get a hotel room, or rent a car if he had to go and take care of some urgent business unexpectedly, he's not a high value man. If he does not own at least one dark suit and a pair of hard bottom shoes and can tie a necktie, he's not a high value man. Does he own a white dress shirt? Can he show up at a job interview, somebody's funeral, or take you to a company dinner and be appropriately dressed? He's not a high value man. Is he the type of man that will seek to secure the welfare of his household, even if it required him making a sacrifice of himself? Don't let these punks and cowards tell you that you need to stop thinking that you deserve a man who loves you enough to care for you, take care of you while he living, and make sure you taken care of after he dead. My grandmother preceded my grandfather in death. But had she outlived him, she would have been all right. And when he closed his eyes, he ain't owed nobody a dime. Not one thin dime. My granddad didn't leave us back here scrambling, worrying how we gonna bury him. He ain't left a bill nowhere. Not even on a duck, because wasn't no duck at the house. When my own father closed his eyes, I picked up the telephone, notified an attorney of his death, and settled my father's estate with no headache, heartache, or hassle. Because not only did my father and my grandfathers, not only are they resting in peace, honey, they left us here in peace. And Negro telling you what you don't deserve. If he dropped dead right now, somebody would have to pass a hat and put up a GoFundMe to bury him. And he telling you what you don't deserve. When I did have conversations with these men and observed them conversing with each other, they were first very respectful. They were respectful. They respected themselves. They respected each other. They were respectful to the women in the group. They were polite. They were courteous. They were not rude. They were well groomed. hair neat, nails neat, teeth clean. They smelled good. Their clothing fit them well. We were at a social gathering and they had on real clothes. They don't walk around in jerseys and jeans all the time. You don't play ball while you got on a damn jersey every day. Hell, you wear the pro athlete jersey more than he do. He take that sucker off after the game and wash it. Johnny Russell, if you thought that all a woman needed is Jesus, you don't know Jesus and you don't know a damn thing about a woman. You don't know your damn self. And if a man tell you he taking care of his mama, he'll build her a mother's suite onto his house or move her in his house and take care of his mama, or he will pay attendants to take care of his mama. Don't buy that lie. If you're taking care of his mama, see what's in the mailbox. It'll be a bill coming in his name somewhere. Do not let anybody talk you into lowering your standards. I've been heavier than I was. Baby, I lowered my weight, but I damn sure didn't lower my standards. I might have lowered my blood pressure, lowered my cholesterol and my blood sugar. I might have lowered my dress size, but I did not lower my standards because I can entertain a thought or a thing without making it a permanent part of my life. And you can entertain him long enough to find out how stupid he is. You better realize that these men are telling you that. Let me tell you something. One of the most beautiful unions that I have seen is of a couple who gave each other the greatest second chance in their life. They both had been married before. They both had children. And they came together and formed a beautiful and blessed union. Stop thinking that nobody's going to want you because you have children. If your children are well behaved and marriable, and you are well maintained, well groomed, and well kept, yes, ma'am, a man who is not a punk or a coward will love you and accept you. And he, knowing that he has baggage, will be more tolerant of yours. But these pieces of... See, let me tell you something. A sapsucker that can't get a driver's license or a passport because he behind on his child support can't never make me feel bad because I was a single woman and I was divorced and had a child. That bastard telling you that nobody wants you with children, he ain't feeding his own damn children and ain't gonna do nothing for yours. I said it. And for all of them on here, you don't own no place to live. You don't have a residence in your own name. You don't have a car in your name. You don't have good solid credit. You don't have a bank account. You don't have a checking account. You don't have a savings account. You don't have a retirement account. You don't have an investment account. You don't have any 401k or any long-term savings. You don't have an insurance policy. You don't even have a decent, clean, respectable wardrobe. You don't even have good hygiene practices. You need to do what Elmer Fudd did in the cartoon when he was hunting the rabbit and be very damn quiet right now and always. You can't tell me a damn thing. And I want y'all to stop letting them tell you. I'm sick of it. We in the laundry room today. Whenever I come live from the laundry room, look at here, young lady. Whatever shortcoming you have, own it. And do something about it and do better. But don't you let him make you think that wherever you are is where you got to stay. And especially when you start rising, they try to put you in your place to be beneath them. Let me explain something to you. There's a syndrome called pecking order. A lot of these men ain't nothing. They go on a job, a low-level job, because they sorry, trifling, bad ambition and a bad attitude, and somebody got their foot on their neck all day. And the only place he can exert some superiority is over a weak-minded woman or a weak woman with low self-esteem. And to make himself feel better, he tries to put you down. That's that old Ike Turner spirit. Ike Turner tried to keep Tina in check because she was basically his meal ticket. If you doubt my statement, yes, he gave her start. But when Ike left Tina, she went on and sure enough got right then and ruled the world of rock and roll. And ain't nobody heard too much about Ike Turner except for some foolishness. After Tina left, he went somewhere. He went to prison. Kept on fooling around with that cocaine, and then he died. Tina Turner still him. And when she was in her 50s, was still killing it. 60, still looking good. And wherever she at now, she ain't worried about nothing. But a lot of men got Ike Turner syndrome. And what you better do, you better go back and find that movie, What's Love Got to Do With It, and fast forward to the part where she whooped his ass in that hotel room, ran for her life, and never looked back. A high-minded man and a high-value man are not the same. The love of my life, God rest his soul. When I asked him one time, did he love me? He said, I love you the best I know how. And when I thought about what he was saying, that meant something to me, because he said, I may not know everything, but the best I know how, I do what I feel is right, and we can learn the rest from there. He was good to me in life. And he's been good to me from the grave. Let me tell you something. It's some dead men around here right now can take care of a woman better than some of these can living. I'm a living witness. Negroes got children and don't even have a life insurance policy. Ain't gonna leave nothing back him but a burden. They been a dead weight ass on folks while they living and gonna be a burden when they're dead. And the ground still gonna have to hold his sorry ass till he rot. Don't you lower your expectations. Don't you lower your standards. You make sure that you are compatible with the type of man that you desire. But don't you lower the bar. Because a man is a hunter by nature. They go after what they want. If you doubt my statement, the first old regular car little boy get, he put some rims on if he can. Look how they got these dogs looking in the neighborhood, walking around here looking like show dogs. Some of them got dogs. They dogs look like show dogs, and the Negro won't even show up for child support court to feed his children. And they gonna tell you delusional. They want you to be stupid, so that you will lower your standards and let his sorry ass live up in your house, drive your car, eat up your food. Or if the bastard got a job, he wants you to think that when his sorry ass does the bare damn minimum, that ought to be something that you should be excited and grateful for. Hell no to the no, hell to the no. Because he get up and go to work every day and may pay a couple of bills. You ought to be grateful. Shh. God, please. Y'all better get out the house. COVID, the pandemic dying down now. Get vaccinated and get out, honey. And meet men that own their homes. That had somewhere to live before they got with the woman. A lot of y'all women going up in their mama's house getting a man. Back in the day, the man went to the family and got the wife, got the daughter, and married her and brought her into the house. Y'all going out here rescuing these Negroes from homelessness, and his whole damn life can fit in a duffel bag, and you drag him up in your house. Let me tell you something. Here's a cardinal sign of a high-value man. He can't combine and merge his whole damn life with yours in 6 months. He can't move everything he got up with you. Some arrangements will have to be made for him to up his whole life and combine it with yours. If that Negro can meet you and in 3 months he can move everything he got and combine his whole life with yours, and ain't no lawyers and nobody got to be on the phone, I mean, he can start. But if you meet a man that's got something going for himself, baby, it's going to take him longer than 2 or 3 months for him to be able to see where he can combine his life with yours. Even if both of y'all are two self-sufficient adults. But these duffel bag boys, these Negroes that even if they look like they got something, they credit cards maxed out, they living above their means, they got lease cars and layaway clothes on, tricking y'all at the club on the weekend. Standing around there looking sharp. That Negro driving a BMW and sleeping on an air mattress on the floor in a studio apartment if he got somewhere to live. And he wants you to feel so bad about yourself and believe that you are not worth having a man who loves you enough to make sure you got a roof over your head, food, clothes, shelter, reliable transportation, insurance, long-term savings, an emergency backup fund, and everything you need, and a good little bit of what you want. That's what they trying to do, baby. They walking up to Rodeo Drive with dollar store money. They coming up on Rodeo Drive with a dollar store mentality. Carry your ass out there on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. Go up there in Manhattan and go shopping. You ain't got to go that far. They got some high dollar places up there. Take your ass up there to Buckhead in Atlanta. And walk up in there. Them people ain't gonna lower their price because you ain't got enough money. You gonna pay their price to get the hell out their store. And that's what you better do. He can't pay your price. Make sure that your goods is worth it. When you know your goods is worth it, baby, get off the clearance rack. If you know your goods are worth it and you make sure that you stock your store with the finest quality goods. And when you know you got good quality goods, don't you bring your price down. If he want to shop on Rodeo Drive, he better come up in there with the currency for the transaction. And I'm not talking about a sexual or physical transaction, but quit dealing with these Negroes that want a Rodeo Drive experience with dollar store money. I got to go. Just remember that. Those high value men want sensible, practical women who will love them, who will be a teammate, who will be a partner. They're not choosing no video vixens. These are regular, ordinary women who are attractive, loving, smart, wise, prudent. We'll talk more about this later. You all inbox me. I promise you I will address this because I'm sick of this here. I love y'all. I feel like y'all love me. I want you young women to be empowered, truly empowered. And if you'll be patient with me, I want to take the time to even start having retreats or coming where you are in small groups and talking with you about how you need to be empowered financially. Because baby, let me tell you something, when you control your own money, it ain't nothing a man can do with you except respect you and treat you right. And if he can't do that, get the hell on. I ain't saying I'm the best singer in the world, but Billie Holiday said, them that's got shall get, them that's not shall lose. For the Bible says, and it still is new, Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Get your own, honey. Get your own. Leave the low fruit alone. Don't lower your bar for nobody. And I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all tune in tonight to Miss Coco. She gonna have some blues from Mississippi on her show tonight. I'll talk to y'all later. I gotta get to the studio. Bye.